It appears that Nyesom Wike, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory FCT, is now going through perhaps the toughest period of his political life. Over time, several events have come together to challenge his influence, his reputation, and his assumed dominance in corridors of power. What once seemed like a confident march towards greater authority is now morphing into a struggle to avoid being silenced. Let me take you through how things unfolded. It all seemed to begin with what looked like a media battle. Wike, already well known for being forceful and outspoken, attacked Omoyele Sowore. Sowore had called President Tinubu a criminal. Wike responded sharply, saying that if such remarks were made in another country, Sowore might already have been killed. Sowore, however, did not take that allegation lying down. Instead of backing off or retracting, he turned off the heat. He began to expose Wike for all sorts of alleged misdeed. Among the accusations were that Wike owns property in Florida, USA, that he also holds multiple properties in various parts of Nigeria, especially in Rivers State, that he had used his influence and resources to amass wealth far beyond what a public servant should. To many people's surprise, Wike did not manage to convincingly deny these allegations. In fact, he began to respond with swagger, as if he believed that his power or money could intimidate the critics or silence them. Perhaps he hoped to bribe, bully, or pressure Sowore into pulling back, but it didn't work. Instead, Sowore escalated his accusation, bringing more light to the claims and refusing to be silenced. Facing this intensifying pressure, Wike's once loud voice grew quieter. He went into a kind of silence. Then came another blow to Wike's ambition and to his standing in the ruling government. When it was time for President Tinubu to appoint a new chairman for the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Wike expected to have clout. He believed that by now he held significant sway in the Tinubu's government, and so he pushed for his own preferred candidate, according to Insider. This candidate was a retired judge, someone Wike reportedly presented as his choice to many power players. Wike lobbied hard. He tried to twist arm, influence opinion, and make powerful allies back his candidate. He likely believed he had earned the right to demand that his pick be accepted, simply because of the political muscle he has always claimed to possess. But then President Tinubu did something unexpected. At the very last moment, Tinubu surprised everyone, including Wike, by appointing a different person entirely. Not Wike's candidate, not someone from his list, nor someone he could control. Tinubu made a choice that made it clear he did not yield to Wike's pressure. This move was seen by many as a direct challenge to Wike's assumed position of dominance in the government. It signaled that Tinubu would not or could not be manipulated by Wike's influence. Wike, who may have imagined himself as a kingmaker or power broker, was shown that the ultimate power still resides with the president. Since that INEC appointment, Wike's public posture has changed. The previously vocal, aggressive, always on the attack Wike has become calmer, almost cautious. Observers say he now avoids open confrontation. The once noisy Ikwere chief has switched to a more measured, low-key approach. An insider claimed that Wike is now in a very precarious position, both politically and economically. If he starts to oppose or undermine the Tinubu government too openly, that the same government might retaliate. He risks being rubbished, meaning losing power, influence, access to contract, or even protection. The insider suggests this fear may be what drives Wike's gentle demeanor towards the Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State. He is testing the water, keeping friends close, avoiding showdowns. Many are watching closely, trying to figure out will Wike accept his reduced role or will he yet push back and bet that his influence is still formidable. But why is this so significant? This phase marks a turning point. Let me highlight why it matters, not just for Wike but for the broader political landscape of Nigeria. Number one is erosion of authority. Wike once stood as a giant in politics, especially in the South-South region, and in Rivers State he has long acted as a kingmaker. But now, the very fact that the president ignored his preferred INEC candidate suggests that Wike's clout is diminishing. Number two is exposure and reputation risk. The Sowore clash was dangerous for Wike because it brought alleged private dealings into public view. When a figure with strong influence is exposed, even if not conclusively proven, it weakens their moral ground. Wike's inability to cleanly rebut the accusation makes it harder for him to maintain his aura of invulnerability. Number three is balance of power in the presidency. President Tinubu's decisions signal that in his government, final decision rests on him, even if powerful figures like Wike push strongly. It sets a precedent. No one, regardless of past political might, should consider themselves untouchable within Tinubu's administration. Number four is psychological effect. For someone used to commanding attention, being ignored or overridden is painful. It can erode confidence. Wike's recent silence might indicate that he is recalibrating his strategy, reassessing his alliance, and deciding when or whether to make a move again. Number five is regional and national dynamics. Wike's dominance in Rivers State and the South had rippled effect on how politics were played in that region. If his power waned, many other political actors could begin to reposition themselves, perhaps shifting loyalty, building new blocks, or trying to fill the vacuum. What may happen next? Given this situation, there are a few possible paths ahead. We don't know which one will play out, but this seems plausible. Number one is quiet withdrawal. Wike might retreat from direct confrontation and reposition himself behind the scenes. Rather than openly challenging Tinubu, he may build influence quietly, becoming a power broker who works without limelight until a better moment arises. Number two is strategic alliance. He might seek alliance, perhaps with governors, regional leaders, or even with Fobara to rebuild a base of influence that can't be ignored. If he can deliver vote, loyalty, and mobilization, his value to Tinubu could be resurrected. Number three is open defiance or risk move. In a bold move, Wike could choose to openly oppose Tinubu's agenda or policies, but this risk, if he loses, he could be politically isolated, shut out of key benefit, and even face lawsuit or investigation. Number four is reputation management. Wike will likely attempt to clear his name on the property allegation. He may begin legal suits, issue detailed records, or launch counter-accusation. If he can muddy the waters, he may slow the erosion of his public esteem. Number five is waiting game. He could sit tight, bide his time, and let the political wind shift again. If Tinubu faces challenges or public pressure, Wike might re-emerge as a strong alternative or coalition leader. On a final thought, things are changing for Nyesom Wike. The bold, aggressive figure who seemed to believe he could bend government decision to his will is now facing retest. His failed with Shore exposed vulnerability he perhaps thought he didn't have, and being publicly overridden by Tinubu over an INEC appointment sent a clear message. Political might cannot guarantee control over the president's decision. If Wike miscalculates the next step, if he overreached or loses public sympathy or alienates possible allies, he may find himself not just weakened but politically irrelevant. On the other hand, he is not without assets, name recognition, political network, resources, and influence at state level. His next move will be critical. For now, his sudden calmness may not signal retreat. It may be a tactical pause, a moment to regroup, to assess who still stands with him and who has turned away. We must wait and watch. The drama is far from over.